Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim here. Got another tutorial for you today. We're doing the Paracord Fishtail Bracelet. Right, so this is a bracelet that uses a buckle. Very simple and elegant design on this one. So with that being said, let's get to the tutorial. Alright guys, so I've got my paracord here ready. I've got about 4 feet of each. And I'm using the black and imperial red. I've already got them pre-melted together. And I've also just slightly singed the ends and then taken my needle nose pliers and just kind of squished them flat so they're easy to feed through the buckle here. Right, and you will need your quick release buckle. Right, and what you're going to do is locate the female end. Oh, and just for clarity, you see how all bracelets, these buckles designed for bracelets are curved. This will be referred to as the top because, you know, it goes on your wrist like this. This will be referred to the top and this will be referred to as the bottom. Okay, so we're going to locate the female end, which is this one here. Then we're going to take our paracord. You're going to go towards the joined sections and you're going to feed one end, it doesn't matter which one of the sides through the top of the female end. Alright, so that would be like through here. Okay, so see how that's the curve here and this is the top. You're going to feed it through there. So you can just use a I don't know, hemostats or tweezers just to kind of force them through. What I like to do is take a piece of a thin string, or even just, this is one of the inner strands from the paracord, and you're going to loop it like this, like that, and then what you can do is, this makes it a lot easier, you just feed those 2 strands through the top here, and just kind of pull them through, like that, right? So you'll have to kind of avoid the melted section, because that's not really going to go through, not a big deal. Okay, so now that I've got the red side through, I'm going to take both strands, and I'm going to put them through the loop. Right? So here are the 2 ends. Go through here. And then we're going to cinch up the excess. Now to make this bracelet look good, what you want to do is try to hide, see the little melted section here? You want to try to hide that behind the knot here. You just don't want it up here. It's okay if it's down here because the bracelet, when you weave back down to this end, it's going to cover the melted end and it'll look a lot better. Okay? So, I think that's about good enough. I think that should be okay like that. Okay, now we're going to go to our other end. So try to keep these 2 side by side. You don't want them to twist or anything because you want them on the same side, especially if, otherwise your bracelet could get weaved improperly. So you'll notice one is longer than the other because I fed one side through. It's not a big deal. This will be all excess anyway. Now you're going to locate the male end, just like this one here. And again, you're going to go through the, you're going to put the bottom strands through the top of the male end. Okay? So I'm going to do the black one first. This should be a lot easier than the other one. And the red one. Okay? Like that. So make sure you keep them on the same side as up there. I've got the red, I guess from this perspective, red on the left, black on the right. And then up here, see red on the left, black on the right. Okay, so now at this point, you're going to bring the male end closer to the female end. And this is where you're going to size your bracelet. This will be a little tricky because when you start weaving, it kind of wants to move around just due to the nature of this knot. But you know, stick with it, and you'll get it eventually. So my wrist is about, I believe, 6.5 inches. So what you want to do is measure from the end of the female end buckle all the way to just the base of the male buckle. So just using as a pointer, you don't want to measure all the way to the end here. You want to measure to right about here because the male end will go into the female end and that will overlap a bit. So your length should be about from the very top here, this end, to the base of the prongs here. just kind of play around with it. Yeah, it might take a couple tries to get it sized right, but yeah. All right, so let's move on to the weaving section of that after you've gotten your bracelet sized right. Okay guys, so now that you've gotten your length sized properly, you're ready to weave. So just to give you my perspective here, I've got the female end on this side, and we're looking at the bottom of the buckle, all right? See how they're fed through here? So the bottom of the buckle is facing you, okay? And yep, we've got the red on the left, black on the right. So first thing you're gonna do is take the two strands behind, kind of open them up, and you're gonna feed these two strands through out the back, okay? Like that, out through the back. Now you're gonna have to keep your thumb kind of pinched up top here, just because that helps maintain the length that you so carefully measured out. It could shift, so be careful about that. And I apologize if my thumb looks like it's getting in the way. It's just the nature of this weave. Okay, so now you see I've got my two strands heading out the back. These two are the ones I parted. Now you're going to want to take the black and put it over the red like that. Keep that to one side, and then we're going to take the red and bring that to the other side, like that. So this is what you should have currently, right? The right strand is going over the top of the left one. Now, what you're going to do from here is take this strand, the black one, and you're going to bring it over the red and then under the black, right? So the other end here, over the red, under the black. All right, so I've got that through there already, and I'm just going to pull it through to the other side. Okay, this will be the trickiest part because this part may want to move around. And then now I'm going to maintain the black and keep it under the red here. See, black is underneath the red. And basically, for this whole time you're weaving, you're going to always have the two strands on the right, so it's pretty easy to keep track of there. Okay, so I'm just going to cinch this up to the top. So I'm not really doing anything fancy here, I'm just moving this up to the top here. And then you're going to want to, for the most part, also keep your thumb and forefinger or index finger here pinched to maintain this the whole time. Okay, so this is what you should have right now. Two strands on the right, and yeah, that's what it looks like from behind. So I've got my two strands there. Okay, so at this point you may want to check your measurement to make sure it's not off and it hasn't shifted too much in the process. Okay, so now the weave is actually quite simple. So now from this first step, we're going to take the red, whichever strand is on top, you're going to take that, put that over the black, and then under the red. Bring it out to that side. And then you're going to bring it back over the red and then under the black. So it's over, under, and then over, under. It's pretty easy to remember. Just kind of think of it like, trying to imagine the strand is going like this, weaving through the two spine strands. So over, under, and then over, under. Okay, so again, I'm going to go over and then under again. And I'm just going to bring it back to this side here. This will get a lot faster once you get the hang of it. So again, the first few knots will be a little tricky. So just try to do your best and maintain the, keep the weave tight. Yeah, this fishtail bracelet, in order for it to look good, you want to keep everything tight and together. So every once in a while, what I like to do is kind of give it a pinch, you know, on the sides and the top, just to maintain everything, keep it looking good. Okay, so now our colors have switched. We're going to take whichever one is on top. In this case, it's the black. So again, black over the first strand, then under the next one. Pull it through. Now bring it back, over one, and under the next, like that. And then pull it through, like that. Okay, and then when you're done that, you want to again cinch everything together like that. See, now our fishtail weave is starting to form. Okay, so again, we'll just do that one more time. We got the red, we're going to go over the black, under the red. Okay, and then again, back over the red and under the black. Okay, so at this point it should be getting a little easier because your weaves are forming and they're maintaining the tightness or the weaves. Okay, now see what's kind of happening here? I'm getting a little excess. So what that kind of means is my black strand in the center in the process of weaving has gotten a little longer. You're going to want to correct that. So watch out for this. Alright, because what's going to happen is if your inner strands are not the same length, when you're done weaving your bracelet, it's going to be kind of crooked. So at this point you might want to go back and you know, straighten out those lengths. It can get a little frustrating, but you know, just keep at it and you'll get it. Alright, so I'm going to correct my lengths of my paracord because they're a little off, and then I'm going to keep weaving. And again, you're just going to continue weaving all the way down to about yeah, the female end, and then I can show you how to finish it off. Alright, so I'm just about done weaving. I've made it all the way down to the female end of the buckle. Now to finish this off, there's a couple ways to do this. Some people like to take the two strands and weave them back through the weaves you've already done, and that ends up with the two singed ends on the inside here. I personally don't really like that method, just because I think the ends could potentially rub against your skin and irritate your wrist, but you know, there's nothing wrong with that method. But the other way is to just, it's a bit more simpler and a bit easier, and it's just finishing it off with an overhand knot. Alright, so now you can see I've come to the very end. I've got just enough space for maybe one more weave. What you're going to do now is you're going to do the over-under of the first part and just stop there. You're not going to bring it back to the other side because you want to end up with a strand on each side. Okay, and if it gets a little too tough to feed the strand through the space you have, you can just use your forceps or tweezers and just kind of pull it through to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. And again, we're weaving on the inside of our bracelet. So I want to put this through here. So I'm just going to bring it around the other side. Take my forceps or hemostats. So I'm going to put them through the gap here, like this. I'm going to grab the end here. I'm just going to pull it through, like that. Okay. So now you can see I've got a strand on each side, like this. Now, next part is just really simple. If you don't have enough space, you can kind of push up, push up on the weave here. You're just going to do, yeah, basic overhand knot. See, one over the other, like that. And then cinch it down to the end here. Right? So you're going to want to, I guess, give it a nice tight pull. Try to get it to match up with the level of the bracelet so it's nice and flush. Alright, and from there, yeah, you just got to cut off the excess. So at this point, you definitely do want to test your bracelet if it's for yourself especially. Because if you cut off the excess, there's no really going back. So, yeah, test the length, make sure it's okay. And then from there, we're going to cut off the excess. Alright, so I'm just going to take my trusty knife, cut off the excess. You can use scissors, of course, if you like. So again, guys, when you're trimming the excess paracord, do not cut it too close to the end where you have to melt. Because if it's too close, when you go to melt it, singe it with the lighter, you could end up singeing the surrounding paracord. Alright, so I'm going to cut it right about here. So, I mean, if this is where I want it to melt, I'm going to cut it maybe just about there, just a little off. Alright, so let's do that now. Cut it right about here. I'm going to take my lighter and melt carefully. And you're going to press it. Now again, be very careful when you're doing that. I tend to just kind of lick my thumb and then press it down. But if you have, you know, Sensitive fingers, do not do that. You can always just use the side of the lighter and kind of tap on it, or use a pen or something like that. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. So again, say right about here. And I'm going to singe that part. Alright, there we have it. We are done. So at this point you can test it, and yeah, we've got our fishtail bracelet.